Hello, it is Monday and it is a new weekly reading vlog. I don't know if you can tell, I had my hair in plaits all night. But I have some really cool updates. Like, it is like not even 8 a.m, but I have really good updates from yesterday. It's a shame I don't vlog on a Sunday, because Sundays like yesterday are good update days. Also, my voice is really croaky because I've not even had my coffee yet. But we're just gonna ignore that. So I did actually start the Polar Bear Explorers Club on Saturday night. I read about 64 pages on Saturday, and then yesterday Steph and the gang did some productivity sprints on Steph's channel, and I got this book finished. So I really enjoyed this. I absolutely adore Felix, like Stella's adoptive dad. I absolutely adored him. He was just so lovely. And compared to the other people in the Polar Bear Explorers Club and the people that we've met from the Ocean Squid Explorers Club, Felix is the best of them. He's the only decent person. Absolutely hated her Aunt Agatha. But yeah, I did grow on Ethan, but I absolutely loved Shay and Beanie. And the ending I was not expecting. So the way it is ended, I really want to pick up book 2 now. So I'm thinking after Eurovisionathon I might pick up book 2 from the library, because obviously this is from the library. So yeah, I think I might pick up book 2 because I want to read the next one. But this got 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I loved the characters, even the bad ones. They were written really well. And yeah, loved it. Also, this was for my Iceland. This is very loosely okay for Iceland because it's set in Iceland's. But I'm taking it and I've read it now, so you know. And then I also read Death at Intervals by Jose Saramago last night. So Chloe did some sprints in the evening. So I joined Chloe's sprints and I read about 3/4 of it, because it's only 196 pages. I read about 3/4 of it in Chloe's sprints, and then I just finished it off after she finished her sprints. This was really thought-provoking. I wasn't actually expecting to like this, but it was really thought-provoking. So it starts on midnight on the 31st of December. People stop dying. Literally no one dies in this one country for 7 months. And the reasons behind death doing this was really interesting. I thought it was really cleverly done. But then after death starts up again with conditions, it took a different turn, and I was weirdly here for it. It was weird. Like, it was very weird. And I was shocked I liked it. But one thing I will say, it was quite hard to follow. I'm shocked I got through it so quickly, because it was quite hard to follow because there are no speech marks. There's hardly any punctuation. And I don't know if this is how it was originally written in Portuguese or if it's how it's been translated. But it was so hard to follow. Like, there was times where I had to sort of like reread of the paragraph. Oh, well, there's not even really paragraphs, to be honest. Look, there's 2 whole pages with no paragraph breaks, and there's not much punctuation in there either. So it was really hard to follow. But taking aside that, the story itself was pretty good. There wasn't really any characters other than death, so I can't really comment on characters, because no one had names really, other than Prime Minister or Your Majesty. So yeah, but it was really good, and it really made me stop and think about how, obviously, if death did stop, like, everyone's always like, oh, we hate death, like, death is horrible, we don't want people to die. But then you've got to think about the implications for everyone if no one dies. it wasn't like no one could get like hurt, it was no one could die. So some people would literally be on the edge and not actually living, they would just be not dying. And then obviously you've got to think about the financial side of things, like insurance companies. If no one dies, life insurance companies are sort of null and void. So they had to find a way around that. And it was just, yeah, it really made you stop and think. But yes, but this was my Portugal pick because the author is Portuguese and it was originally written in Portuguese. But yeah, it was a nice, it wasn't an enjoyable read, I would say, because it focuses on death. But it was a nice experience to read something different, because this is so out of my comfort zone. I never read stuff like this. I think it's actually classed as magical realism, and I don't think I've ever read magical realism before. I could be wrong. But yeah, this was really good. It did only come out as a 3-star, but I really enjoyed it, and I would actually recommend this one, although just go into it knowing that it's not a particularly happy read, and also there's not much punctuation and there's no speech marks, so you're going to have trouble keeping up with that part. But yeah. So next up I'm going to go for a bit more of a light-hearted one. So I am going to go for The Secret Cove in Croatia. This is not my type of book at all because it's contemporary romance. But you know what? We're gonna give it a go and we're gonna see. This gives me proper spring summer vibes because obviously there's like a pool here, or the sea, whatever. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Cross of the road. So it is Wednesday today and I'm on my way back from a shopping trip, which is my cheeks are really hot. I didn't buy any books. Alright, I bought 8 or 9 for myself. I cannot remember how many exactly, and they're all in my bag, and bought a Funko. Someone wouldn't let me get a second one.
You're welcome.
Spoil sport. Didn't want to save money, they was on sale. But now, and I bought stuff in Primark, had my little Primark trip, and now need to go to the library because I've got a couple books to collect, and then go home and collapse because my legs hurt. So yeah. So it's a bit later. I haven't really been updating you this week, have I? I've been really bad. So I thought I'd just, the books I got 8 books, 6 in Waterstones and 2 in the works. I'm not going to show you them now because I'll be filming my haul this weekend, so that'll be up next weekend, so you'll be able to go check it out, which will be everything from the entire month, including those 8 books. But I did want to show you something. I managed to find a gem in the Entertainer for half price. Kylo Ren and Rey. I'm obsessed with this. I love this. It's amazing. So yeah, I got that. No idea where I'm going to put it. Haven't figured that one out yet. However, I didn't read anything yesterday at all, but today I have been reading The Secret Cove in Croatia, and I am really enjoying it. So I'm over halfway through. It's a bit of a slow burn, enemies to lovers type thing, and it's getting to the point where they're starting to not necessarily see each other as enemies anymore. However, I'm really worried because I don't know if I mentioned this on Monday when I talked about it, but I'm worried that this is going to follow a cheating trope. Because currently the male love interest does have a girlfriend. She is a stuck up, horrible person, but I want him to break up with her before anything actually does happen with the main female character, because if not, it's going to really annoy me and I'm probably going to DNF it because I can't deal with cheating tropes. But yeah, it's actually pretty good considering I do not read contemporary romance. This is actually a pretty nice read for me, apart from constantly worrying if it's gonna follow a cheating trope. But apart from that, take that out and I'm enjoying reading it. But I'm hoping to get a lot more read tonight. Maybe finish it. I've got about 150 pages. Maybe finish it tonight because it's still early. It's not even 9 p.m. yet. But we'll see. I did pick up a couple more books from the library today, which are my books for Latvia and Georgia. So I picked those up from the library today. But yeah, this is still book 4 of Eurovisionathon. I've not read any more than that. Not happened yet. But I did, when I got back from town, I did do some tidying, which I haven't done in a while, and it's been stressing me out how messy my bedroom has got. Like I've had no motivation to tidy. Now, mental health talk here. If you suffer from like depression and anxiety, you may know what I mean when I say this, but when you're in a mental slump, you don't have the motivation to do anything productive that you should be doing. So for example, I have not been tidying or cleaning my room at all. Obviously when I take clothes off, they go in the washing basket. That I'm doing. If I have I rarely have food in my room, but if I have food or like cups or everything, they go downstairs. That's fine. But when I acquire things like, for example, book boxes, I open it up, do my unboxing, blah, blah, and then just shove the box in a corner somewhere. And it's been building up, and yeah, it's got really bad, and it's now got to the point where my brain has gone, okay, I know you don't have the motivation to tidy, but this is stressing you out looking at it every day. So I finally made a start. I have not finished. I do still have to finish it, but it's in less piles now, and I did get rid of like 2 bags of things. So I'm hoping to finish sorting that out. Probably not tomorrow or Friday, because obviously I'm working during the day on both those days. And by the evening I just don't want to do anything. But maybe Saturday. I do also want to film a few videos on Saturday. So Saturday I feel like it's going to be pretty productive, but we'll see. But yeah, had a nice day, and now I am on Ashley's Patreon. We're doing some reading sprints, so another one has just this second started, so I'm gonna get back to this. I'm also burning my Better Than Waffles candle by Grace and Honey, and it is going to be one that I re-buy when that's gone because I absolutely love it. It's amazing. But yeah, talking of which, I should really watch Shadow and Bone. So this is a really quick update. I'm reading this, and the town I live in is mentioned in it, or rather the town next to the town I live in. Like, it's one borough, but I've literally never seen it mentioned in a book, and I'm like, what? So it is a lot later now, but I thought I would just update you. I did finish The Secret Cove in Croatia, and this got a 4-star. This is not my normal book. Like, if you know me, if you've been watching like my channel, you'll know I don't read contemporary romance. But obviously I needed a book for Croatia, and I saw other people picking this one, so I picked it, and I'm very happy to report that I'm now considering getting the rest of Julie Kaplan's books out of the library also. I don't want to buy them myself because I don't think they're the type of books that I will read over and over again. But I did really enjoy this, and I definitely want to see her other books. So she does a series of books called The Romantic Escapes or something like that, and each one is different, set in a different place. And I think the very first one she did was Amsterdam. I could be wrong, but yeah, even though like on Goodreads this shows as number 5, they are all standalones. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. Obviously Croatia book, and yeah, I'm really glad I read this. I'm really glad I'm going out of my like comfort zone on reading, because I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed Death at Intervals, so you know, I'm liking this. So that's book 4 done for Eurovisionathon. The next book I'm going to be starting, and I'm not starting it tonight because it is very late and I'm tired and I'm going to go to bed, but tomorrow I am going to start Dangerous Remedy. I have had this book, it was in an Illumicrate box around about this time last year, I think. But yeah, I've been putting this off because it's set around the French Revolution, I think, and so is A Court of Miracles, and I read that, and I'm not a massive fan of historical fiction, even if it is a fantasy type setting. So obviously when I read A Court of Miracles, I was shocked to like it, but then I didn't want to read this straight away, and then it just kept getting pushed back and pushed back. And the sequel is coming out very soon, so I want to get this read, so that I know whether I like it enough to buy the sequel in the matching Illumicrate. So yeah, that is what I'm gonna do. I really like the tagline here: "We cheat death as the blade falls." Like, it intrigues me. There is no fate, no destiny. Everything is a choice. I'm really hoping I love this. But yeah, so I'll be starting that tomorrow. But yeah, for now, I'm gonna, you know, go to bed because I'm tired. Hello, it is Friday, and I don't really know what happened yesterday. I was sat in bed and I was like reading, and I was like, oh, I should film a clip for this week's vlog. And then I just didn't. So, don't know what happened there. However, I did start reading. You cannot see this. I've taken the dust jacket off, obviously. I'm reading Dangerous Remedy by Kat Dunn. And I read 181 pages yesterday. So, you know, I made pretty good progress on this. I'm almost halfway through. I kind of want to try and finish this today so that I can like go into May with no currently reading, because I hate doing my wrap-ups and working out page count if I've got books on my currently reading. So I'm really hoping I can finish this today. Jade over at Jade Reads, we did our Patreon live show last night. It's just like a little chatty one. However, she decided to turn last night's one into sprints because she wanted to finish her book, and so got some reading done. But we somehow convinced her to just do a impromptu 48-hour Raedathon this weekend. As in starting at midnight tonight. Obviously none of us have had any real preparation, so it's a very low-key one, and Jade herself said that obviously she's gonna sleep. She's not gonna attempt the 48 hours. She's gonna sleep, she's gonna like get stuff done, but she needs to catch up with reading because she's been doing Vader, which has been incredible. Yesterday's video was 4 minutes something of bloopers and it was brilliant. But yeah, so I'm gonna hopefully finish this today, and then tomorrow and Sunday I'm going to try and get through loads of my Eurovisionathon TBR, because this could be the push I need to actually get these books read, because it wasn't looking anywhere near possible to read 39 books in a month. However, now it's looking a bit more possible, and I'm kind of here for it. So we're gonna see. I do need to film like 3 videos tomorrow, So, and I do need to pop into town because I need to go Asda. So tomorrow won't be as much reading, but even if I can just get through a few smaller ones tomorrow, I'm here for that. But yeah, we'll see. Because of this, I am going to run this vlog through to Sunday. Also because I have basically no footage up until this point. But yeah, I will catch up with you later when hopefully I'll have some reading updates of this. I am enjoying it so far. Not as much as I thought I would. So I don't think I'm going to go for the sequel. But we'll see. I've still got half the book to go. Things might turn around and I might end up absolutely adoring this book. But yeah, I am enjoying it. So, but I think maybe it's like a 3-4 star at the moment rather than a 4-5 star. But we'll see. Things could change. I'm not even halfway through yet. So I will catch up. I have got to work today though, unfortunately. So it's going to be my lunch break and then after work. But yeah, so I will catch up with you later. So super quick update because it is really late and I don't know if I'm going to be able to stay awake till midnight. But I finished Dangerous Remedy by Kat Dunn, which means I finished my currently reading list for April. I'm going into May with nothing on my currently reading, which makes me incredibly happy. This came out as 4 star. It was a pretty low 4 star. It was like bordering 3 star, but it got 4. I would have liked more of the characters in this. So I did like how near the end we learn a bit more about Al, but I would have liked more background on the other characters throughout the book. Hopefully that's something that's touched on more, like you get to know the characters more in the second book, which I am definitely going to buy. But yeah, I did like this, and I liked how it ended on not an oh my god cliffhanger, but in the sort of cliffhanger where you're like, you need the next book, like you can't wait to read the next book. And I'm really glad I finally read this. I've had this for a year. This was in Illuma Crate's April 2020 box, and I'm only just reading it now in April 2021. So I'm glad I finally read this. I am going to be writing a full review on my blog for this because I got the e-arc on NetGalley a year ago. I'm slowly catching up with my e-arcs. I'm trying not to request anything unless it's like something I cannot live without. So I'm trying not to request too much so that I can like catch up. And a lot of the books I already have the physical copies, so I'm like finding it easier to read the physical copies. So yeah, really enjoyed this and really happy I managed to finish it still in April. So having said that, I realised I haven't actually done my May spread in my reading journal, so I need to do that, but I can't because I need to print bits for it, and 1, my printer's noisy, 2, it doesn't always work, so I don't want to do it at like gone 11 p.m. So that's a job for tomorrow, me. I think Jade is going to be doing some Patreon sprints at midnight to bring in the start of the 48-hour Raedathon. I haven't decided what book I'm going to start with, but I'm thinking if I'm still awake at midnight and can read a little bit, I think I'm just going to start with the Moomin book because it's so short. I can easily read that in 1 or 2 sprints, I think. So it'll be really easy and it'll be nice to get one done and then I can go to bed. But we'll see. But I'm not going to check in with you again tonight because I'm pretty out of it. I'm tired. I've also had a whole bottle of wine because Maddie and Gavin have been doing Patreon sprints and they're just chatting at the moment, obviously, and obviously they've been drinking like cocktails, and I thought, you know what, it's a Friday night, I've had a few weeks, I'm gonna crack open a bottle of wine. So yeah, that's what I did, and I had the whole bottle, no regrets. Yeah, I'll catch up with you tomorrow. So it is Saturday and I'm just gonna insert a little clip here because I forgot to actually do an intro to the day. and filmed like a little clip of some mail earlier. So I'm just going to put that in here. And then I'm going to talk to you about my reading updates. Well, I might have done a thing. I got the new Anna. And then I'm going to show you the other two I got. They're not this small. We have Supreme Leader. And we have Dio. I have no regrets. So it is a lot later. It's like it's 8 p.m. I have not made as much progress as I was hoping to have made. I did finish Dorian Gray, or rather the picture of Dorian Gray. This got a 3-star. It was really, really good, but it was just, I don't know. I find I struggle reading classics. But I like the story, so we're good. This was my pick for Ireland for Eurovisionathon, because Oscar Wilde is Irish, or was Irish. So there's that. I also have been reading Snippets of Serbia by Emma Fick. It's on my phone. So yeah, I've been reading that. I am now going to take my makeup off, get in my PJs and get in bed, because I am going to have a nap, because I am planning, because obviously this is day 1 of the 2-day Raedathon. I'm planning to do the full 24 hours tomorrow. Whether or not I have to nap in the afternoon is another thing, because usually when I do a 24-hour readathon, I go to bed at like 4 p.m. That has not happened, clearly. So I'm not going to be getting a full night's sleep beforehand. So instead I am just going to try and get as much sleep as I can now before midnight, wake up just before midnight, and try and do the full 24 hours tomorrow. I kind of have 4 books in mind that I would like to read tomorrow. They're all pretty short. However, whether I manage that is another matter. But I am obviously going to get in bed. But I doubt I'll get asleep straight away. So I am going to continue reading Snippets of Serbia, because that's such an easy read. It's basically Emma Fick has illustrated it, and each page is an illustration of something to do with Serbia from her experience there, and it has just a little bit of text explaining the picture. So it's a really easy read. So yeah, I'm gonna try and read a bit more of that before I go to sleep. So I'll catch up with you later. Hello, it is Sunday and croaky. So I ended up falling asleep about 9 p.m. last night. Before I fell asleep, I did finish Snippets of Serbia by Emma Fick. It got 4 stars. It was a really nice insight into Serbia, with the illustrations and everything, and there was like recipes in it, which was really cool. And then I went to sleep at 9, woke up just before midnight, and I read Comment in Moominland. This was for the Finland prompt. This was a 3-star. This was just a cute like sequel. It had like mentions of the first book, but this one was more adventure, more like danger, because a massive comet come into the planet. So there was that. And then I have just finished Ali and Nino, which was my pick for Georgia. This I actually liked more than I thought I would. It was still a 3-star, but I actually enjoyed it more than I thought I would. It's got a kind of Romeo and Juliet type thing with like star-crossed lovers, and it was just really lovely. The ending got me a little bit. It's not completely like Romeo and Juliet. It's more in the sense of like the star-crossed lovers. So yeah, this was quite an enjoyable read, which I was very happy about. But now I'm going to move on to What Magic Is This by Holly Bourne. This hopefully won't take long because it's very big and spaced out writing, and it's like 167 pages. So yes. So it's midday. I finished What Magic Is This? This was my book for the UK. I finished this about an hour and a half ago because I've just had a like half-hour nap. I was hoping it would be longer, but it's fine. I've just woken up in time to have something to eat, and Maddie's sprints are starting, so I'll be starting book number 4 for the day. But I finished this. This was a 4-star. It was short and sweet, and it was just really cute how obviously like you have to learn to like open up to your friends and like learn to love yourself, and it was just such a cute little YA, and I highly recommend it. It was very lovely. I loved it. For now, I am going to go and have something to eat and get back to reading. So it is 5 p.m. I have been dawdling, chatting with Liv, and I've just DNF'd Pietra the Latvian, which was my book for Latvia. 44 pages in, and it's a crime novel, but I don't really read crime, but it's just not gripping me, so I'm not gonna try and force myself to read it. So I'm leaving it there and DNFing it. So it is a lot later. It is like 11:30 p.m. and I have just finished Windwitch. I listened to the audiobook on like triple speed whilst reading along, and obviously it's a reread for me, so it's still come out as a 4-star for me. But yeah, I really enjoyed my reread of this. I really love Aiden in this book, and Isolde. Them two are just like, they own my heart so much. But yeah, so there we go. So my Raedathon weekend has consisted of these, plus snippets of Serbia by Emma Fick, and then 44 pages of this. So it's been a pretty productive weekend. I think all of this has come to around just over 1,000 pages, which is actually okay. It's better than I thought. Usually on a 24-hour readathon I read like over 2,000 pages, but where I was just so tired this weekend, I just didn't have it in me to read bigger books. So I just stuck with like loads of little ones and had lots of breaks from reading, but I still had so much fun. So yeah, and we are now a week into Eurovisionathon, and I have read like quite a few books now. I can't actually remember how many, but unfortunately I have also DNF'd one. So, I mean, there's no way I'm going to get through all 39, but obviously definitely not because I've DNF'd one. But progress. I like the progress. So I am going to wrap this up now because I am tired. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this vlog. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Bye.